Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are here together with this lady. Tuesday night, it's live question and answer with Coach Bronson, and tonight, also Coach Nat.
Hey, hey, hey.
So we're a little bit late. We had some technical difficulties. We were going to do side by side with whatever, but screw that. We're all going to watch on my YouTube channel tonight. So welcome to those people that are coming from Coach Nat. Coach Nat's crew that are going to be watching on my YouTube. So welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to everyone else. We have some information we're going to share with you guys tonight about some stuff that we're working on that we're changing. There's some news that came in tonight about some events that we were planning on going that we won't be going to. And then we will get into your questions because hopefully you guys have questions. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, I forgot that it's multiple events.
Multiple things, right?
Yeah, maybe we should do the announcements first.
Okay, let's do announcements. Announcement number one. If you haven't heard, I was scheduled to talk at the Keto Las Vegas Expo in September, the end of September. And as of today, that event has been canceled. So if you were planning on going to Vegas, that's where we met. It was going to be our reunion, or I don't know, our anniversary. What would we call it?
Kind of both. Yeah, kind of reunion.
Reunion and anniversary.
It's been 2 years. Anniversary would have been.
Yeah, it would have been our 2-year anniversary.
Kind of a month shy.
Ish. It could have counted.
They're doing it earlier than they did.
It could have counted. We would have. It's basically the same thing. All right.
Hang on, I'm making the announcement in my group chat where we are.
So where we are, so everyone can get to.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So September is now open. If anybody wants to have an event to invite us, let us know. We'd love to come.
Or not, because we might have our hands full. Actually, I will be somewhere in September.
You will be somewhere. Where will you be?
I will be in Orlando, Florida. I have a competitor client competing.
Ooh, your first competitor.
My first WBFF competitor. Miss Dima from Australia,
She's coming to Orlando,
who has been traveling all over the world for the last few months while on prep. I'm definitely going to have to interview her.
Yeah, watch this. Absolutely.
Because she is doing the unthinkable. It's her first prep ever. She traveled throughout Asia. She is now headed to the U.S. She'll be here, not that far from us, a few hours away from us, New York, New Jersey area. For the last 6 weeks or so leading up to her show.
Leading up to the show. Yeah. And then she'll be in Orlando for
and
the
then
show.
Orlando for the show.
And she's competing bikini wellness. What is she doing?
I just saw her latest photos and her new posing, and my latest advice to her was potentially do both.
Yeah.
Because she's got the hips for wellness.
She got the hips. Gotta have hips.
So she's got the ratios. So we may be doing both. We'll wait until she gets a little closer to show and see how things change. And then I may move her in one direction or the other. But as of right now, it's likely she'll do both.
Nice. Yeah. All right.
So
good luck,
that's exciting.
Cool.
I'll be traveling down there for her show. Also looking into photo shoots for us to do together, actually.
Oh, okay. Cool. So awesome. Coach and client getting photo shoots together. Wow, that's awesome. We got Purple Lovin' Nana. Nana. On. We got Deb on. We got
That's
Monica
Debbie
on.
And Deb, my dad.
Deb and Deb. And Monica and Rhonda. Hey, Rhonda, what's going on? I feel we saw Rhonda at KetoCon, right?
The cruise.
The cruise. Was it the cruise? Yes, the cruise. That's right. Okay. All right, that's right. We had that. We had a conversation not afterwards.
And Jujubee is Juliana.
Oh, she just popped on. Hey, what's going on? Okay, so you'll be in Orlando in September. Neither of us will be in Vegas.
We will not be in Vegas.
And also, we have another brand, another service thing, project. I don't know what you want to labor of love.
Yeah.
Called Keto Fit Living, which you guys may or may not have heard of. Heard us talk about that before. It started last year. We did a couples retreat in Destin, Florida. And we were planning on doing another couples retreat this year in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
In Smoky Mountain.
In October. that is going to be pushed back to next year sometime. We just felt like we had so much stuff going on this year. We're already starting to plan for antithetic for next year and trying to do that and plan the retreat at the same time. The antithetic is the priority for us.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that next year meets the standards that we set, that we are setting on top of what we set for this year. Like this year blew us away in what we were able to do and how it actually came together and what actually the impact it had and how well everything went and all the stuff. We want to take it up a notch and we want it to be even more polished.
Boutique.
I think polished is really right. Professional
unique.
Polish. We don't want it to look like, hey, this some random people put something together and whatever, right?
Yeah.
So the experience next year is going to be on a completely different level. And we want to make sure we put as much effort into that as possible. So we're pushing the retreat back till next year and we'll see how that goes.
So we will keep you all informed, of course, of the new dates as soon as we have those solidified. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
Right?
So the rest of our year is, you know what that means?
I do know what that means. I just got so excited. They don't know what
They don't know what that means, but she knows what that means. That's so funny when you have the realization of what it means.
Y'all understand.
Go ahead and tell them.
That means I'm getting a kitten, y'all. We're getting two. We've been talking about getting kittens for a long time. But because of all of our travel and all of our plans, not being home, we were going to wait until everything was done for the year. And that looked like it was going to be around the holidays.
Yeah.
And
now since we're not doing any traveling,
when I get back from Orlando,
that will be.
He just might have a little surprise for me.
No, we have to do it. You already told me.
I told him. I have to pick it. We have to be able to pick them out.
We know some people that we met at Antithetic, who Billy is a vet tech who works with a shelter in Virginia, and she's going to not only help us connect with the shelter and find some kittens, but also as a vet tech, give us all the insight we need as far as making sure that we're being cat parents, but also feeding them a whole food animal-based diet and all the other different things to make sure that they're getting everything they need. So,
oh my gosh, I smell a new series on
one of the
Keto
Cats. Keto Cats. Coach Nat and her Keto Cats.
Oh, job. It's gonna be both of us and our kittens.
Oh my God.
I knew. See, Deb's super excited. She's a cat mom, and I always get to see her kittens on the videos, and I just melt. And I told her how much I've been dying to have one.
That's awesome. What's up? What's up, Scott? What's up, Deb? Michael's on. Maria's on. That's awesome. So that's what's going on with us, guys. We might be getting some cats in the near future. When are you going to Orlando?
Middle of September.
So by the end of September, by Labor Day, we might have kittens.
No, Labor Day is the beginning.
It's the beginning. Right. I'm thinking for some reason, I think it's the end. I don't know why. It's the beginning. Okay. So by the end of September.
By the end of September. That could be our anniversary gift.
Okay. My gift to you.
Our gift to each other.
You get one cat, I'll get one cat. So we have an argument already boiling and stewing, and that is, who are the cats going to like the most?
Okay, he has an unfair advantage. I discovered this the other day. I was like, now I understand why cats always love you. It's not fair. Ladies, you probably will feel me on this. He's warm-blooded. He's always hot. And I'm always cold. And y'all know cats love to sit on top of your laptop or blankets or whatever because they want the heat. So now I understand. It has nothing to do with him.
It's absolutely all about me. It is just an additional characteristic about me that they will love.
So I'm going to have to walk around with a heating pad on. So
Oh my God. We are getting to, Deb. That's the
We're
plan.
definitely getting to.
Partially because we want them to have a friend to
Each
play
other.
with, and right,
It's
friend to play
cruel
with.
to only have
But then also if we do go away or travel or something like that, then they'll never be alone. And that's kind of one of the things. 4 feral cats and one had 4 kittens. Wow, Rhonda.
Whoa.
Wow. Chicken and sardines. There we go.
All right. Oh yeah, they love that.
I love that stuff.
Yep.
All right. So it's now back to you guys. We just spent 10 minutes talking about us. Let's get back to what the normal scheduled program is all about, and that is answering your questions. What questions do you guys have? What have you seen on social media, read in a book or an article, or seen somebody talking about on a video that either confused you, doesn't make sense, conflicted with something else you'd already heard or thought about, or you just have a question about something that's going on in your life and you need help trying to figure it out? Load those questions up and we will answer them to the best of our ability. We won't always have an answer. And sometimes that answer is going to be go look and talk to someone else.
We'll always have an answer.
Well, we won't always have an answer to the issue, but we'll have an answer for you.
For you. Always. Yes.
So, and ask your questions, guys. Let us know how things are going and if there's anything we can do to help you tonight. Otherwise, it's going to be a really short video.
Debbie she said she had, this is not a question.
Where?
She had 2 cat sisters when she lived in Texas. Sugar and Spice.
Sugar and spice and everything nice. All right.
So we'll also take recommendations.
This is a question we hadn't thought about. We hadn't thought about, do we want boys, girls? Like, what does it matter?
If we get an orange cat, aren't they usually boys? Certain kind of orange cat that's
I thought oranges were always girls.
What's the one that's always boys? I've got cat people here, so I know.
I don't know. You guys tell us. I thought orange ones were always boys or always girls.
No, they're usually boys.
Oh. Well, you want an orange one and you want like a tiger one.
Lately, I've been really into the.
What happened to my tuxedo?
I know, because then I saw them the other night. I saw them.
I want a tuxedo.
And I was like, oh my God, the tuxedo cats are so cute.
Tuxedos are the bomb. They're always the coolest cat.
I always want.
They're like BDE cats. I got to have a tuxedo. They are.
Wow.
If y'all know what BDE is, tell me a tuxedo cat is BDE.
I fall in love with every cat that I see on TikTok. Every new one. Now it's gray. I'm like in love with the gray cat all of a sudden. So this is why I say we have to go, because when we go, we'll connect with one another. Yeah, the energy will be there. It'll just be right. Yeah. Deb says 20% of gingers are girls. So most of them are boys then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rhonda asked a question for Nat. Answer that question, Nat.
When you provide coaching, does it need to be both diet and weights? Or can I get a program for lifting? I keep starting and stopping and need a program and accountability. Love working arms. Ooh, first of all, shout out to all the ladies that don't skip arm day. Upper body is what separates the women from the girls, in my opinion. I can do either or, Rhonda. So holler at me. I will shoot you my link for a call and get on a call and talk about what you're looking for. And I can quote you what that would be for just training. Yeah.
Or both. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have both.
Yeah, I do have some people that just do training with me. Usually that's after I've worked with someone for a while and they've graduated from doing all of it, then they can continue with just training. And I do in the future plan on rolling out programs. Yeah. Actually,
I mean, I have a couple of programs that are just lifting as well.
That's right, you do.
So I don't know. It depends on what you're looking for. If you shoot either one of us a message, maybe we can talk and find out more about what you're looking for. But there's options for you.
And bug in y'all's ear who are listening tonight. Right now, I have my shred going on. After the shred is finished this fall, I plan to roll out my. Okay, that's weird. We went away, and I was like, "Oh no, what happened?" My baby that I really wanted to put out for a long time, and it is my KBB build, Keto Bikini Body build program. So it is all about building lean tissue, muscle mass. So for my ladies who are having a hard time gaining quality muscle, going to be for you. So Rhonda, that may be perfect for you but if you're wanting to jump on something a little quicker than that, then yeah, holler at me and we can talk about a program that's right for you. All right.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. Sorry, I was looking up somebody's question because Juliana asked a very interesting question that I've never heard before.
Ooh.
Do the carbs in a raw onion change when it's caramelized or just the taste? So my initial thought was, I can't imagine why the carbs would change.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, potentially the ratio of carbs maybe go up because you're cooking other stuff away. But overall, the number of carbs would pretty much stay the same, right? And then I just did a quick Google, and it seems like the information out there is saying that there's no real change in the carbs, which is kind of what I was expecting.
That makes sense. Yeah, because the macronutrients
of
chicken are not going to change.
It's not going to change. Right. So I've never heard of it changing, caramelizing food, unless you're adding something to it. That's a whole different thing. But just
if you're the one that's caramelizing the onion and you're not adding anything to the onion to caramelize it, in restaurants, it's possible that they could be doing a roux, with the flour, or they're adding sugar or balsamic or something like that. For instance, we went out to dinner the other day, Sunday night, to the Capitol Burger. I just posted this on my Instagram, so you'll get to see
that filet was so
all
good.
the stuff we got. We really indulged.
That filet was so
Now, he got the filet, which was a very smart choice. I indulged a little more than he did.
I got the wings with the sauce on it, which probably wasn't the best sauce.
The chili glazed wings, was your indulgence. Yeah. The deviled eggs were probably fine, except that the bacon, they said it was candied bacon. And it didn't look like it was crusted. It wasn't like that.
It wasn't like dripping candy.
Right. It wasn't glazed, but you could definitely taste it when you ate the bacon. And then they did have homemade pickles, which were amazing, but they tasted more like the bread and butter pickles, a little sweeter. So that probably had something in there. And then the burger that I got was a truffle burger, and it came with caramelized onions. And they did like a Cabernet caramelized onion. So the Cabernet, the alcohol cooks off, but that probably would have increased the sugar
potentially.
Yeah. So things like that. And I definitely felt it after.
Yeah. So if you're doing it and you have control, potentially no. If you're out, probably it's going to be higher.
Yeah.
Hope that answers your question, Juliana.
Juliana is making me so proud. She's in my shred, and she is showing up, asking questions like this every day to better understand what she's doing and make sure she's doing things accurately. And it's awesome.
All right. Michelle said, made it, been searching for 30 minutes. Sorry. On the YouTubes. That's what happens when you go for her stuff instead of just sticking to my stuff.
Only because I decided not to do the Zoom tonight. Of all the times.
Jean, thank you very much for calling us beautiful people.
Aw.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I've never been called beautiful before. Yes, she calls me cute all the time, which is annoying.
He's adorable. Tell him to stop doing cute stuff and I'll stop calling him cute. Shayna's on. She's in my shirt.
Shayna, too. Okay. All right, guys. Well, let's talk. Okay. Now, see, I want to talk about what I am fired up about right now, but you'll glaze your eyes. Your eyes will glaze over.
Thank you. Please don't do that to them. Don't do that to them. Okay. He's geeking out on some new science.
I learned some stuff yesterday. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday.
All right. How about this? If you can dumb it down. Not that they need that, but
no, because I can go on. Like I can go on. To the point
where it's interesting and applicable.
Okay, well, let's just say that I learned a word yesterday that I've never heard before, and I don't understand why I never heard it. If you guys are interested, go look it up. It's keto. What is it?
Ketolysis.
Keto.
Ketolysis.
Yes, right? Ketolysis. Yes, because it's like glycolysis.
Yeah.
But it's ketolysis. So ketolysis. And basically, if you're familiar with any of the metabolic pathways and how keto works and how we break down carbs or fats, that kind of stuff, without getting too into the weeds. Glycolysis is the process that our body uses to break down glucose and glycogen into ATP, which is what powers our muscles. Ketolysis is the same thing, but it uses ketones. So it's at the end of the chain of being ketogenic is this process called ketolysis, which is how our muscles actually use ketones to work. I've never heard. 5 years I've been carnivore. Over 5 years I've been carnivore. About 5 years I've been researching carnivore and trying to understand the science. I had never heard this word until yesterday. I don't understand why I've never heard this word until yesterday, but the more I've looked, I spent, I don't want to
He's
talk about how many hours in the last 24 hours I've spent.
50% totally excited and geeked, and 50% pissed. They just discovered this. He's like, where has this been?
Where has this been?
I've never heard this.
Okay, I don't know. I emailed doctors about Zaldivar, Dr. Cybus, Dr. Hampton. I've emailed a bunch of people like, what is this? Why are we not talking about this? So there is some very interesting information that I am in the process of digging into as I learn more about it and try to see how it fits into the big picture. There will very likely be a video that comes out with a bunch of information that hopefully helps you guys understand how. The biggest thing I want to help people understand is why we don't need carbs to exercise. That is the crux of why I'm excited about this word, because if this word means what I think it means, then it could be the very definition for why physical activity doesn't require carbohydrates. And if I can figure that out, that could be huge in a lot of, it could be huge in a lot of different ways. So I'm super excited about it.
We have questions.
All right, we have questions. Cool. Let's see.
First about Hashimoto's. Yep.
Okay, Danielle says, hi, Coach. Missed our group live, but was wondering if you had any experience working with Hashimoto's. I'm struggling lately with energy and wondering if I need to back off workouts some. Very possibly. Very possibly. Hashimoto's, and what's the other one? Fibromyalgia is another one. And there's another one too that I cannot remember the name of right now. Another thing where your fatigue and pain is exacerbated by activity. Syndrome. Anyways, so Hashimoto's and fibromyalgia are two that you have to be very diligent about balancing your level of effort with how your body's responding and the overall impact of what's going on. So I would not recommend high intensity interval training for somebody with Hashimoto's. I would recommend strictly strength training. Okay. And then very measured in how you're doing it. Okay. You're not doing 4 sets of 20 reps, things like that, right? You're going moderately heavy, 8 to 12 reps, maybe max for 3 sets, kind of work on and see how you're feeling, gauge your recovery. Maximum recovery volume is a very important thing to gauge. How much did I do today? How do I feel 2-3 days afterwards? Am I able to get back to the gym and do it again? That type of thing. So keeping track of your intensity and how it's affecting you is super important, because that could also change. You could have 1 week where you can work out no problem, and then the next week you're like, no matter what you do, you feel like crap. So you just have to be very flexible with how it goes. Do you have anything to add to that? Or
yeah, exactly what I was going to say. That cut back on any HIIT style cardio. Don't be in the gym for more than an hour at a time. You know, you don't want to be doing long duration. You don't need to be in there every day.
Yeah.
You know, get your rest time.
That would be one specific circumstance. I'm not a fan of prioritizing or focusing on any specific type of exercise primarily. Okay. I think we need a broad range of different things. That is one situation where I think focusing on strength training and including maybe a little bit more. Like I personally recommend zone 2 training once a week. I don't think we need it more than that. I think for most people, if you're active, if you're doing weight training and you're getting enough volume in your lifting, you're actually getting zone 2 training when you're lifting as well. That's a whole nother discussion, right? But for something like this, where you're going to be avoiding the high intensity stuff, maybe having an extra day or two of zone 2 might be good too.
She said, I'm doing your intermediate program. Is that considered HIIT?
Yes, it is. So what I would say is let's chat and talk about how we can adjust it. So you can take the structure and just don't do it in the format. So you can do those movements, but don't do it in the HIIT format, if that makes sense. We can talk, shoot me a message, Danielle, and we can talk about how you can modify that, or we can just give you a different program to use altogether. So just let me know what you want to do there. Okay. Cool. That answers that question. Let's see what else we got. That was okay. I have a friend who is preparing for a gastric bypass. Okay, let's see. I have a friend who is preparing for a gastric bypass, been on a super low calorie for the last 3 weeks and still has 2 weeks to go. And she's mainly eating protein. She is very cold and tired
all the time.
All the time.
Is there anything I can suggest to help her through? She said she gave her element.
She gave her element, so increasing electrolytes. But I mean, she's got to get some fat in, I would assume. Now, this is a whole nother rabbit hole that we could get into, is does she really need to eat fat? Right? There have been cases people who are severely obese who have subsisted on the fat off their body.
Well, and
but there's the issue of, is she metabolizing that fat off her body?
Well, and here's the question, right? Because gastric bypass, there is a wide range or variety of people who are going for gastric bypass. You know, I don't know how much body fat she has, you know, how much weight she has to lose, and exactly what she's doing. So I would be, you know, I don't really know that I can advise without more detail.
Yeah.
In terms of what she's doing. If she's been doing PSMF for 3 weeks straight,
that's probably not a good idea.
And is not over 300 pounds, that's probably a little extreme.
Yeah. And again, any recommendations you give her, this is the hard part about the whole gastric bypass thing, is any recommendations you give her are very likely what she would need to know and do whether she was getting the gastric bypass or not. So
yeah,
it's kind of like it's very frustrating. And I know we work with people who have gotten, you know, bariatric surgery, who have not enjoyed the process and have had to do just as much work after getting the surgery to maintain themselves as they did before.
And it's a struggle to eat afterwards.
Yeah. So yeah, I wish there was more. I don't know what else we can say. Like, it's really kind of hard to.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one, because you don't want to say eat more because she's trying not to eat, because she's trying, you know, so.
Right. And I don't know too, like, was there a requirement of there's this much weight she needs to lose, and how far is she from that? Because they will give you a requirement.
Yeah. I mean, without trying to be preachy and, you know, whatever, I would, if it were, and you may have done this already, but if it were me personally, someone that I knew that I had the ability to have a conversation with, I would try like hell to talk them out of doing it. That's my personal.
I would get as much information as I could.
Yeah.
About what they're doing, what they're trying to do. Yeah.
I think there's, when it comes to that, unless it's, I don't know personally of many situations where that has to happen.
I don't think it's, I think it can be more harm than good.
Yes. All right. Let's see. Ron had a question. Your opinion. Okay. Let's see.
I like this question.
You want to read it?
Yeah. Your opinion, when people work out with weights and the scales go up after a week and they attribute it to gaining muscle, I think it's water. You don't gain pounds of muscle in a week. Need to do a video, please.
You are absolutely correct.
I have, yes. Well, usually it is a factor of inflammation. If somebody hasn't been training and they start a training program, they're going to have inflammation, and that's not a bad thing. It's a stressor to the body, and it's something new. So the body's going to, and this is what happens for all of us when we train. Ideally, it will happen, because if it's happening, it means that you have created enough stress for the body to have to recover from that, and that's how we build muscle. So, especially I see this when somebody starts training for the first time, when somebody starts a new program for the first time. For instance, I had all my all my ladies who are doing the shred take a deload if they were already training before they started the shred. So they could be prepared for that. So a lot of the time we do see that the first few weeks, particularly the first.
Well, and that's really where getting a body composition scanner that you can use at home is super helpful, because you can look at, and especially once you start to understand what the readings mean, when you gain 2 pounds after working out, 2 or 3 pounds for the first week after working out, you can see on the body composition scale, it's actually probably going to tell you that you've gained fat, because you've gained the inflammation. Inflammation in most body composition scanners reads as additional fat. So your body fat percentage may go up after the first week, and that freaks a lot of people out.
And sometimes
they get like, I just started working out. Where's my body fat going up?
And
it's
sometimes
because
it's the other way around. It'll attribute water to lean mass. So we see that with like increasing carbs. Oh my gosh, I increased carbs and I gained more muscle.
Or
like,
increasing sodium is another one, right?
Changing your fluid balance in any way.
So understanding that it's more than just what you weigh, it goes a long way into helping understand what's actually happening. And I love body composition scans because of that.
And on the same subject, I see a lot of women a lot of people justifying weight gain, excessive weight gain, because they're trying to build muscle and attributing that or justifying it as muscle gain. And I always like to say, fat loss typically looks like, in a healthy rate of loss, 1% of your body weight per week. So for most people, that could be anywhere from 1 to 2 pounds per week for fat loss on the scale. Muscle gain is like 1/10 of that. If you're lucky, if you're doing everything right, you'll be lucky to gain 1 or 2 pounds a month. So if you're gaining 1 to 2 pounds a week, it is not muscle. Some of it, little bit of it might be, but most of it is either water or fat or combination of both.
Trying to see if there's any other. Hey, intentional carnivore, what's up? That's all I got. Let's see. People having conversations within the chat, but nobody's asking any questions. All right, countdown. Oh wait, we got one comment we can talk about. Jeannie says, I saw Nat at Coach Bronson's youthful mom who flexed her bicep for me
in New Jersey. Yes.
That's
Your
awesome.
mom flexed for her.
My mom flexed.
Yeah.
I'm sad that I wasn't able to make it to New Jersey. I kind of had the vid and was not feeling well. Well, I didn't actually have it then, but I was recovering from it.
Yeah,
and I guys, I tried. I worked out today for the first time in over 2 weeks. I died. I did 2 sets of leg presses and then had to sit down and take a break. Like, what in the hell is going on? So it's going to take me a couple weeks to get back, but it was.
Well, it has now gone through our whole home, and it's gone. Hopefully, we won't see it again for another year or more.
Or more.
Forever.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you for being on. We appreciate it. Good questions. I take electrolytes working out and wondering if increasing protein will hurt my.
What? This man has opinions for you.
No such thing. Shayna?
Yes.
Okay, Shayna, eat more protein. There's
Working
no such thing.
And wondering if increasing protein will hurt my results.
No.
So 2 things.
No.
One, she's in the shred, so she's going to get the lowdown on this when we get into adjustments.
Can I talk?
Yes, of course. Okay.
No, on the shred.
Oh,
Can I come on the shred and talk about eating protein?
Sure.
Eat it.
We're going to talk about optimizing and what we do in a cut, but we'll give you the Cliff Notes here. Typically on a cut, what I will do with clients as we bring their fats down, bring their protein up. That's going to keep you satiated while your fuel calories continue to get cut. And it helps with the process of cutting. You're going to be less hungry. You're going to struggle less that way. So do you want to talk a little bit about your functional versus fuel calories?
No,
People?
I don't want to. No, because
No?
there's a couple questions actually. It just basically protein is used for building, and if you're trying to build, you need protein.
And
That's
when
really that's really
it's not going to get stored as fat.
no. The amount of protein you guys would have to eat in order for your body to not be able to do anything with it and turn it into something that was stored as fat is far beyond
Not
what
an efficient
anybody is
process.
going to do. So I hope that answers your question, Shana. Don't worry about eating protein. Eat it all. Eat it all. This is Linda. You're getting me ready to go on a rant here.
Uh-oh. What's going on?
I've recently discovered that I don't need to do 3 sets. Would you recommend doing 1 set at slow burn
Uh-oh.
or doing 1 set during using heaviest weights until failure at usual speed? Okay.
Sounds like you've been chatting with our friend.
With our friend
Fred
Fred on. Okay. I love Fred. Fred is doing a lot of good stuff. Very similar to what you see in the keto carnivore space. There's a lot of different ways to do things. Okay. And in the fitness space, the high intensity training community is very vocal about it's the best way to build muscle and get strong. If anyone ever tells you to move a weight fast or do more than 1 set to failure, they don't know what they're talking about. That's a common mantra that I hear from the HIIT community. The methodologies and the protocols of high intensity training or slow burn is very good stuff. I use it in my method, in my training, in my programs. Our bodies are designed to do a lot of things, and the things that we need to be good at doing go far beyond simply trying to maximize muscle gain. Okay. So the idea that you only need to do 1 set to failure in order to maximize muscle growth is perfectly fine. That's great. You need to get to muscle failure no matter how many sets you do if you want to do muscle. Okay. The things that you miss out on is some of the central nervous system effect of repetitive movement and training your body how to move. So there's something to be said for doing multiple sets at low intensities as you build up to a heavier weight, or as you increase your fatigue by adding volume, that allows you to improve your body's ability to move, understand the movement, and build your central nervous system and brain function. So there's another aspect of exercise that doesn't get impacted if you're just doing 1 set to failure all the time. Okay. That's just one particular thing. There's a whole nother aspect of metabolic pathways and functional movement and the components of fitness that aren't impacted and affected by singularly focusing on building strength. Strength solves a lot of things. If the first thing you want to do and the only thing you want to focus on right now is on building strength, then high intensity interval training or high intensity training or slow burn is a fantastic thing to do. At some point in time, just like when we talk about nutrition, we talk about when you're keto, you got to eat a lot of fat at the beginning. At some point in time, you're going to have to change the way you eat if you're eating a lot of fat, because that fat eventually is going to start working against you. The same thing goes for high intensity training. At some point in time, if you want to expand your body's ability to function and do more things, you will have to change how you train and start doing different types of modalities in training. Okay. So HIIT is great. If that's what you want to do right now and you want to focus on that, then go for it. My version and the way that I do HIIT training is I like to do still 3 sets. I do a warm-up set. I do what I call a prep set, and then I do the working set, right? So I do kind of like, I'm going to do something to get my body going. I'm going to make sure I got the movement down. I'm telling my body I'm ready to go. Then I do another set that is close to the set I want to work to make sure that, hey, am I gauging this level of effort properly? I want to try to do at least 10 or 12 reps. If I do my prep set and I get 18, then I know my working set's going to be heavier than I thought it was going to be, right? So then I go a little bit heavier because I want to try to max out at around 10 or 12 reps. So that's kind of how I do it. I like to do 3 sets when I do my HIIT training. And my last set is whatever weight I've got, and then I'm going to go until I can't go anymore. That's kind of how I do it. So I think there is valid stuff there and it can work for you, but don't think that that's going to work for you forever, if that makes sense.
And let's not forget the importance of something called mental fortitude. There is, I'll never forget when I first started lifting, I hated doing multiple sets.
Yeah.
All I wanted to do was just get in and get it done and get out. There is so much to be gained when we sustain ourselves for longer periods of time doing difficult things.
Sure. And
mentally.
Absolutely. And there's a lot to be said as well for just being able to sustain consistent effort by having some variation, right? You can only, I mean, outside of eating meat, there's not much you can just do all the time. Sorry, guys, I could eat meat all the time. I do eat meat all the time, but yeah. So having some variation can help with consistency and sustainability as well. All right. Hope that answers your question, Lindy. I tried not to be as soapboxy, too ranty and soapboxy as I could have been.
What else we got? Anything
Nicole
else?
says, Coach B, this is Nicole. Hi, Nicole.
She's
so sore from yesterday. Still need to do today's workout. I love it, though. That's fantastic. That's awesome. Rhonda, I understand that hydration can skew the actual results of body fat opposed to muscle. Is that true? Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And that's on every single test you can get.
Yep.
Hydration is going to impact it, even a DEXA scan.
Yep. That took the words out of my mouth. Pamela says, I never see conferences this far west. Would like to attend some.
Okay. Definitely. You're California?
California.
There are low carb
San Diego.
Yep.
That's probably the biggest one. And if you're, I mean, I don't know how far away you are from Denver, but low carb Denver is another one. So the two biggest ones that I know of on the western side of the country would be low carb Denver, low carb San Diego. And
our friend Debbie Potts
has a meetup. She does a meetup, right?
They're doing a meetup in September in San Diego.
And she is, what is her Instagram?
The low carb athlete.
The low carb athlete. So if you go to Instagram, look up the low carb athlete, she should have information, maybe a link tree in her link or something where she's got.
She posted about it recently.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Hope that gives you some options there, Pamela. Maybe eventually we'll have some antithetic stuff going on out on the West Coast. You can help us set that up. Let us know. Let's see. What else we got? Coach Bronson says, I can have that Porterhouse all I want. Fight till the death and go.
Porterhouse. What is the breakdown of the macros on that?
It's
1-to-1,
isn't it?
He said protein.
Not fat. Protein. I said get all the protein.
You said get all.
If you trim all the fat off the Porterhouse, you probably get. I would trim all the fat. So in case you guys know, I don't avoid fat. I just don't like fatty cuts of meat.
He doesn't like the texture.
I don't like the texture. I'm a very texture-oriented person when it comes to that. Bleh.
I love it.
Bleh. It's like eating boogers. All
right. This is why cutting is my struggle and gaining is his
struggle. So let's put it this way. When we get carnivore snacks, which we just got a whole bunch of carnivore snacks, when we get it, I pull off all the fatty pieces and eat the meat and put the fatty pieces back in the bag.
He left a whole bag of the pork loin, just the fat.
Just the
granted, I do love the fat.
She eats it all the time.
But
you're cutting right now.
I do also like the whole thing.
Lindy's watching from Australia. Hey, all right. Planning on doing a tummy tuck. I've lost 60 pounds. Okay, hold on. Form boys.
For my boys.
Oh, for my boys. I thought I said form boys. I'm like, wait a second. For my boys. I need new glasses. I just jumped on, planning on doing a tummy tuck. I've lost 60 pounds in the last 9 years, gained 40, and losing weight again. Do you suggest I wait till I lose more weight? If you're planning on losing weight, yeah, before she gets the tummy tuck.
Before the tummy tuck.
So I mean,
I never remember which one is the tummy tuck.
That's just getting it tight.
That's like actually getting skin, or
yeah.
I would wait in that case.
I would wait. If you have another, like if you're planning on losing another 20, 30, 40 pounds, I probably would wait.
Yeah, and you may be
now here's the thing, you may not need it, but when you lose it, if you lose it in a way that you're worried, that you're focused on quality of life and how your body's actually working, you're also going to maintain it. So if you're doing things that you can maintain and sustain even after you've lost the weight, this is a big mistake a lot of people make, is they try to lose the weight and then they do something drastic and then they start gaining the weight back and they are all screwed up. So thinking about losing the weight is great. I would look at the tummy tuck as a benchmark or a goal, but give yourself some things to look at as far as your progress that aren't just weight related. Okay. Is your lean mass going up? Are you getting stronger? Can you do more things throughout the day? Like, give yourself 4 or 5 or 6 things that have to do with your actual ability to function and do things around your life. And then when you reach all of those, then look at, okay, now I want a tummy tuck.
And purely vanity wise, if you're not already lifting, start resistance training, because all the ladies I speak to who are regretful that they didn't do it sooner because they would have been tighter. I get this question a lot. I just got one in the group the other day about, what do you do about loose skin? Will it tighten up? You would be shocked at how much of it you can tighten up by strength training and building the muscle underneath. So, for what it's worth.
Hope that helps.
I would definitely do some resistance training while you continue to work on losing that weight, and then see if you even need it. Yeah.
Or if you even want to, you might not even care. It's amazing, guys, how much when you start building physical ability and the confidence that you gain from that, and just the freedom that you get from, I can do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it. It's no limitations. How much you really don't worry about how much you look as much, right? There will always be some level of that. I mean, I still deal with that. You deal with that, but it's not at all like what it used to be. You know, I'm more proud of being 51 years old and being able to go on a low carb cruise, climb inside the bay of a bus and put bags away and run around like I'm 18 years old.
That was hot, y'all.
Right? Pulling bags and moving stuff around and crouching, and doing all this kind of stuff and just having a blast.
He didn't even sweat. He's like, I just had fun.
Like, yeah, it was just fun. I felt like a little kid playing, So being able to do that at 51 years old, and not even once did I wonder, can I do that? Or should I do that? Or will I get hurt doing that? Or it was literally like, this needs to get done. Let's get it done. Never a question if there was a physical ability or not to do it. So that's what real freedom, and that's what this is all about. Okay. Let's see what else we got.
Maria said, I want more on autophagy. You were so helpful, Natalie, on our chat about it. Yeah, so we chatted briefly about Maria's lost a lot of weight. She's like, she's been training and her body, she looks fit. It's awesome. It's so incredible to see. But she's like, I'm still a guy. I want to, tighten up the skin in certain areas.
It takes
and,
time.
I want that autophagy. And she was asking about, they talk about fasting and everything that you can do. This is what we were talking about in our chat. Everything you can do with fasting, you can do with exercise. With keto, it's already a fasting mimicking diet, so you're going to get a lot of those benefits.
Yep.
I also talked about separating your meals. You could do 2 meals a day and separate them by 6 or 7 hours, and you'll still get a lot of those same benefits.
Yeah.
So my best tips for people who are looking for that autophagy without having to go that route of extended fasts, which we both discourage, is cutting out snacking and making sure you're exercising, and a caloric deficit. A caloric deficit is going to do a lot of that for you anyway. So if you're don't eat way too much fat, like everybody in the keto space tells you to do. Be reasonable with that, reasonable with your portions, and separate your meals and eat meals.
Eat meals and exercise vigorously, right? If you're not struggling to do your work when you're working out, then you're not working out.
You're not sending the signal.
Okay.
To your body.
Your workouts should be hard. Okay. Watch my video on TikTok. If you guys didn't know, I'm starting to journal my progress on my TikTok channel. No Carb Athlete is on TikTok. That is going to be my personal journey of trying to build muscle as an over 50 carnivore. Okay. It is not Coach Bronson. It is just me complaining about going to the gym, getting up in the morning, working hard, not being able to breathe, all that other kind of stuff like I posted about today. So if you want to see what it looks like to work hard, and what it looks like to go through this process, follow me on TikTok, check it out, and you will be able to follow along with me as we go. And you'll get to kind of see firsthand what it looks like.
Maria says hit, or you mean heavy?
For
hard, when you say hard. When you say
either or, whatever you're doing, whatever program you're following. If you're doing a lifting only program, then the challenge is to find where is your limit to what you can lift. Okay, if you're lifting and the workout says 4 sets of 8, and you do 4 sets of 8, and then you move on to the next exercise, you didn't do a workout.
I usually, yes, when I see that my ladies are doing like the top end of the range that I gave them, if I give them 8 to 12 reps and I look in their workout log and it's like 12 reps on every single one and every single exercise for 3 sets, I'm like, you didn't work hard enough.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to do 12 again if you just did 12 and you just did 12 again. You shouldn't be able to do it the third time. So I will say one of the number one comments I got after the first week of the shred, when I was pushing everybody in the training to work harder, they all came back, and even my advanced lifters who came into that program that I've been lifting for years, and I really pushed myself. I asked myself, could I do more? And they did more, and they're like, I haven't felt this way after a workout in a really long time.
Here's the thing, and this is one of the mindsets that I think is really key when it comes to understanding what it means to push yourself. You have to be curious about what you can do. The whole idea of lifting and exercising is to improve your body's ability to do things. So what's the question? What can I do? Can I go heavier? Can I do another rep?
Let's just
see what happens. Be curious and try. The worst thing that can happen is you don't get to, I wonder if I can do 10. Oh my God, I only got 8.
You will be surprised. You will be surprised. One of my ladies said, you know what? I'm always just going to go for the next one. Even if I only get 1 rep,
right?
I'll figure something out, right? Like it's so cool to do that. That has happened to me by accident in the gym when everybody was using all the dumbbells I wanted.
Right. So like I gotta use the next one up.
And then I'm like, I could do 8 reps with that.
Right.
Well, now I know I've been selling myself short.
Yep.
So yeah, it's really cool to see that. I know earlier Rhonda was asking about my calendar. If you can't find a time, just DM me.
Okay.
And we can open up. I can open up some more slots.
Christina says my gym coach is not cutting it.
We're chatting in a couple of days.
You have a chat. Okay. Yeah. We got to figure out which one.
She just said she's excited. So
okay. When are we gonna just merge our stuff?
We could test it out with Rhonda and Christina.
Do you guys think we should just get rid of Keto Bikini Pro, get rid of Coach Bronson, and just do a Coach Nat and Bronson single program? All of our stuff is in one thing.
No, they don't think so. I don't think so. We're going to have that, but
eventually
we will have our individual programs they could do within that.
Right.
We're working on it.
Let's see what else we got. All right, we got to go. We're almost at an hour, and we're done with questions. Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for asking questions. We really appreciate you guys being engaged. Do we want to address that?
Sure. And then I'll tell you about the conversation I had at the New Jersey meetup.
Oh no. Okay. She hasn't told me about this.
I haven't.
Juliana says I need to put a ring on it. So I'm gonna go get some bacon and twist it up into a little thing. Can I get you a bacon ring?
A bacon ring? Oh,
that is hilarious.
That is cute. That would be fun.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got asked. No, I didn't get asked. suggestions on our wedding.
Oh, really?
Yes, on what we should do for a wedding.
Really interesting. Okay.
From our friend, delighted to meet you.
And what should we do for our wedding?
I don't remember. You said.
You totally were like, nope, that's
Shut
not happening.
down. Whoop. I don't even know what they were. I was like,
That
yeah.
is funny. That is hilarious. She bacon in a ring.
Oh, that's cute.
That's awesome.
That was my post today in my Facebook group was.
Oh, really?
Because it was about the single ladies, and I was asking the single ladies
Gotcha.
to share about their experiences.
Gotcha. Keto, carnivore, and lifting, and you're single won't be that way for a while, for long. Pretty much.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
I mean, I found my carnivore king. After I went ketovore. I was this close to carnivore when we met.
You're a lot closer to carnivore now.
I'm close to this carnivore.
There was a joke waiting to happen that you better be glad I did not say. All right, guys, we are done for the evening. Thank you very much again. I just totally blocked out your face. See you, everybody.
Good night, y'all. Thanks
Later,
for
guys.
showing up.
Not overstepping at all, Juliana. It's hilarious. We love it.
We love you.
See ya.